Concise Art of Seduction. Chapter 5. Create a need. Steer anxiety and discontent. A perfectly satisfied person cannot be seduced. Tension and disharmony must be instilled in your target's minds. Steer within them feelings of discontent and unhappiness with their circumstances and with themselves. Their life lacks adventure. They have strayed from the ideals of their youth. They have become boring. The feelings of inadequacy that you create will give you space to insinuate yourself, to make them see you as the answer to their problems. Pain and anxiety are the proper precursor to pleasure. Learn to manufacture the need that you can feel. Everyone wears a mask in society. We pretend to be more sure of ourselves than we are. We do not want other people to glimpse the doubting self within us. In truth, our egos and personalities are much more fragile than they appear to be. They cover up feelings of confusion and emptiness. As a seducer, you must never mistake a person's appearance for the reality. People are always susceptible to being seduced because, in fact, everyone lacks a sense of completeness, feels something missing deep inside. Bring their doubts and anxieties to the surface and they can be led and lured to follow you. No one can see you as someone to follow or fall in love with unless they first reflect on themselves somehow and on what they are missing. Before the seduction proceeds, you must place a mirror in front of them in which they glimpse their inner emptiness. Made aware of a lack, they now can focus on you as the person who can fill that empty space. Remember, most of us are lazy. To relieve our feelings of boredom or inadequacy on our own takes too much effort. Letting someone else do the job is both easier and more exciting. The desire to have someone fill up our emptiness is the weakness on which all seducers prey. Make people anxious about the future. Make them depressed, make them question their identity, make them sense the boredom that gnaws at their life. The ground is prepared. The seeds of seduction can be sown. Your task as a seducer to create a wound in your victim, aiming at their soft spot, a chink in their self-esteem. If they are stuck in a rut, make them feel it more deeply, innocently bringing it up and talking about it. What you want is an insecurity you can expand a little, an anxiety that can best be relieved by involvement with another person, namely you. They must feel the wound before they fall in love. In your role of seducer, try to position yourself as coming from outside as a stranger of sorts. You present change, difference, a break of routines, the lure of the exotic. Make your victims feel that by comparison their lives are boring and their friends less interesting than they had thought. Remember, people prefer to feel that if their life is uninteresting, it is not because of themselves, but because of their circumstances. The dull people they know, the town into which they were born. Once you make them feel the lure of the exotic seduction is easy. Another devilishly seductive area to aim at is the victim's past. To grow old is to renounce or compromise youthful ideals, to become less spontaneous, less alive in a way. This knowledge lies dormant in all of us. As a seducer, you must bring it to the surface. As seduce, make it clear how far people have strayed from their past goals and ideals. You, in turn, present yourselves as representing that ideal, as offering a chance to recapture lost youth through adventure, through seduction. All the age is constantly seduced by youth. But first, the young people must make it clear what the older ones are missing, how they have lost their ideals. Only then will they feel that the presence of the young people let them recapture that spark, the rebellious spirit that age and society have conspired to repress. This concept has infinite applications. Corporations and politicians know that they cannot seduce the public into buying what they want them to buy, or doing what they want them to do, unless they first awaken a sense of need and discontent. Make them masses uncertain about their identity, and you can help define it for them. It is as true of groups or nations as it is of individuals. They cannot be seduced without being made to feel some lack. Part of John F. Kennedy's election strategy in 1960 was to make Americans unhappy about the 1950s and how far the country had strayed from its ideals. In talking about the 50s, he did not mention the nation's economic stability or its emergence as a superpower. Instead, he implied that the period was marked by conformity, a lack of risk and adventure, a loss of our frontier values. To vote for Kennedy was to embark on a collective adventure to go back to ideals we had given up. But before anyone joined his crusade, they had to be made aware of how much they had lost. What was missing? A group, like an individual, can get mired in routine, losing track of its original goals. Too much prosperity saps it of strength. You can seduce an entire nation by aiming at its collective insecurity, that latent sense that not everything is what it seems, steering dissatisfaction with the present and reminding people about the glorious past can unsettle their sense of identity. Then you can be the one to redefine it. A grand seduction symbol. Cupid's arrow. What awakens desire in the seduced is not a soft touch or a pleasant sensation, it is a wound. The arrow creates a pain, an ache, and a need for relief. Before desire, there must be pain. Aim the arrow at the victim's weakest spot, creating a wound that you can open and reopen.